And welcome back to the Metal Teddy Bear Experience podcast right now. This is your host, Chris. We got my boy, Jesse. What's up, dude?
What's up? How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, because we have special guest Andrew Hudson, the frontman of Harlott. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Yeah, not a lot. Giggle, mate.
Where are you calling in from right now?
Melbourne, Australia.
Nice. We were just talking about all the awesome weather over there. I can't believe you guys go up to 120. That still blows my mind.
Yeah, we get overnight lows of about 100 degrees. Like, that's as cold as it gets in a 24-hour period.
That's right.
Rough.
That's sandal weather. Let's go. Walk through all the.
Shit.
Yeah,
there's much clothing you can take off that is still socially acceptable to go outside in. So.
Yeah, we have things called cock socks. People just walk around naked with a sock on their dick. It's all just trying to stay alive at 120-degree weather.
Just stay inside. If you need to resort to a sock on your dick to go outside, just stay inside. What is so important that you go, I need to go to it, but I'm not wearing anything more than a sock on my dick?
Starbucks, bro. You ever had Starbucks? It crushes. It's just like so good.
We have Starbucks struggle to stay open in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, then whatever. The fucking
we're really wanky
down the
with
street.
our coffee.
Oh, nice. Is it
Really
like you guys, everyone takes it really seriously?
Oh yeah, way too seriously.
Oh, really?
It's punishing going on tour with a Melbourne band, because every city we go to, we're like, oh man, we need Melbourne coffee. Like, where's gonna do a good Melbourne? The Melbourne coffee isn't a fucking thing. It's called a flat white. Like, just get over yourselves.
I didn't know that about Australia at all. I mean, I guess I'm just like ignorant or something, but I always thought Starbucks was just everywhere in the world. I just thought
it is everywhere, but some places it's quite shunned. And like Starbucks is, I don't know.
That's probably good.
Yeah.
We had two Starbucks in our town for a while.
Like, oh god, how desperate were you for a coffee that you went to a Starbucks?
Oh shit.
Oh man, you get shamed right now.
Yeah, Chris.
Damn. Hey, I'm more of a Dunkin' guy. Dunkin' Donuts over here. Please sponsor us.
Wow.
Just do it. Yeah. I just like the Baskin Robbins part.
All right, so we're supposed to be talking about metal, right? This is Metal Teddy Bear Experience. We talked everything
we can if you really want.
Shit. Well, you guys just put out a brand new record November 13th. Detritus of the Final Age. Metal Blade Records put out an awesome music video for Idle Minded. And dude, tell us a little bit about the album. What were you most excited about with this release?
This one came together like this is like the closest it's ever been to what I wanted from a record. The beautiful thing about creating anything artistically is you've got this like flawless image in your head of what you're after. You've got this like impossible achievement that you aim for. And as the process goes along, there's just more and more shortcuts or shortcomings or misgivings that, if you get to the end of the process and you can even listen to your own record, then you've done really well. Particularly if you're the vocalist, because anyone who records vocals will tell you that they hate the sound of their own voice, and it's true. You listen to yourself sing and you go, "How am I going to release this knowingly?"
Can we get a new guy? Like, damn it, I hate this one. He's like, "It's you, bro. It's your job." Hey,
I literally drew the shortest straw for this job, and.
I think it's just funny when you talk to bands and they're either like, oh, I love listening to our new records. Like, I'm so proud of it. I love spinning it. And then there's other people like, I don't want to touch it or play it for another year.
Yeah. But by the time you've finished it as well, you've spent like months in the studio. You've gone in every day and just done the same shit over and over and over again. And you do just get really fatigued with the songs. But this album is like, for me, quite listenable, which is a rare treat. So I think, the production-wise, it's like really happy with the tones we got. We had a really good producer that just dialed in like really crushing sounds for us. And he put me through the absolute ringer when I was tracking vocals. So I couldn't talk for weeks after finishing the album. But I'm glad I went that hard, because now when I listen to it, I feel like I sound quite tough. And normally I sound a bit whingy.
Definitely on this album, you sound great. And the producer is Julian Renzo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Julian Renzo, he's a guitarist from a band called Jack the Stripper back in the day. They did some, they're that weird kind of very intense music that is too metal for me. Like I've got a metal threshold, and once it hits a level of absurdity, I go, I can no longer follow what's happening. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Is it like
Yeah.
experimental? Like what is it, like kind of like
Yeah, it's,
Dillinger
you know
or
that
something
kind
like
of
that?
like what do they call it? Like mathcore when it's just
Oh yeah,
kind
so
of
like don't yeah.
just there's just things happening, and the singer's just like having an appendectomy with a microphone in front of him. Yeah, that kind of thing. But I can't follow.
Jess, did you say
Very very
Dillinger?
popular. Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of shit. Yeah. I was
Call.
trying to remember the name, but I didn't want to say like Horsell Common or something weird.
Yeah, Dillinger's one of those bands you either like or bands like it's either like people are just like, dude, I fucking love it, or it sounds like Static. Holy shit! It just keeps going.
I have nothing but respect for their craft, but I had
Yeah.
zero idea what's happening.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But yeah, like you crushed on this album. Like I was, I'm not someone that listens to a ton of thrash metal, I think, and like I could listen to you guys all fucking day. Like it's just like such a modern sound. Well, are you guys? You don't consider yourself thrash?
No, it's just this is the best compliment that you can get is when someone goes, "I don't like thrash metal, but I liked your album," because it is essentially a thrash metal album. There's no two ways about like you can't push it any other direction other than thrash metal and have it make sense.
Yeah, because it's I agree 1,000%. Like literally, it's just like I just don't like go for thrash metal. Like I don't hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes on, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, yeah, circle pit, get my A6 on. I just start
Metal
running
horns.
in circles. Like let's go. Like, but like when I listen to like some of the songs off this album, I'm just like, yeah. Like,
you guys
it's
definitely
like,
put like a new take on it too, like a modern day sounding thrash record. And then you threw like a bunch of influences on there. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard some like Black Dahlia Murder, like some like a little bit of a death metal vibe with stuff. You smiling right now? Nothing you're going for?
I've never heard of them.
It's another thing that people often tell me is they go, "Oh man, you guys sound a heap like this band," or you can tell that you were listening a lot to this band when you recorded it, and they're bands that I don't listen to.
Okay. So what were you listening to while making this record?
Probably Jethro Tull.
Okay.
Probably 70s prog. And,
Nice.
I don't know, a bit of everything. But this one is the album where I just did all the stuff that I've always wanted to do. And there's some really like ugly sounds in it that I'm kind of obsessed with. Bands that use like dissonant note choices and make things deliberately kind of disgusting. I'm obsessed with, like when you hear a riff and you go, "That's delicious," but also gross. When you break it down to its individual components, that's disgusting. And I'm obsessed with utilizing like horrendous note choices effectively.
What's your favorite disgusting riff on the record?
The verse riff in "As We Breach" has got that like a little dissonant like high bit that's kind of, it's like a bunch of open notes and nice. Bad notes in between each other, so they kind of ring grossly against each other. And man, when we tracked that, and I was like, yes, that's album 5.
Done it.
That album 5 is going to be 50 minutes of that noise.
It's like, the stuff when people go, I don't really listen to metal. Listen to this. It sounds terrible, right? Doesn't it sound amazing? It's like,
it's exactly what I was going for. Thank you for complimenting me in my successful decision.
Do I agree?
Yeah, I do appreciate hearing that like people that don't listen to thrash enjoy it, because that's like the goal, because thrash people will pick up this album and go, it's thrash, I enjoy thrash metal. Or alternatively, they'll be like, I like true thrash, these guys are fucking garbage. That happens a lot as well.
Or what about the third one? I feel like I see this a lot on YouTube. It could be faster. It's just like
speed for the sake of speed is what I fucking hate about thrash metal. They're like, I feel like this wasn't as fast as your other records. They're like, because it wasn't. Like,
didn't feel like
I can tell you right now that the BPM in these songs weren't as fast as the BPM on the last songs. And if that is why you don't listen to it, then you can go fuck yourself. I'm not I'm not pandering to you.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I make stuff as fast as it needs to be to get the point across. I'm not going to make things faster than they need to be. The other albums were faster purely because they were simpler. The easiest way to inject energy and intensity into those songs was to play them as fast as possible. A lot of people record their stuff slower so that they can play it faster live.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Live environments have got more energy as it is. So if you record stuff deliberately slower so you can play it faster live, then all you're going to end up with is a lackluster record. You're going to lose the energy there. But if you record it as fast as possible, when you listen to it, you're going to be like, this is fucking insane. And it doesn't matter how fast you play it live, because it's going to be loud as shit.
Yeah. I feel like bands usually do play live, faster live, just because like they're just in the moment sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Because drummers have got so little concept of pacing.
well, it's also too like when you like you say like you don't notice it. Like as a fan, I didn't notice it, but when I look back at a video, I'm like, oh fuck, that is faster, you know?
They are blistering through that a lot of the time.
I feel bad for as a singer, I could probably feel really bad. I feel bad, especially like with some hardcore bands. Like I'll be like, yeah, I know the rhythm of this like scream, and then I watch a live video, it's like 10, 15 BPM faster, and it just sounds like the guy's just like, he's like, what the fuck? He's like looking back at the band, he's like, fuck, I'm out of breath. Like this sucks.
Yeah. You've got to practice that staccato. It's really hard to get like a punchy delivery at that kind of pace.
Yeah.
And like that's the worst. You get really like I write my lyrics with heaps of like hard K's and hard T's, just so you can kind of go. So it sounds real fast.
Now that you say that, like you notice that.
Yeah, actually, that makes a lot.
I'm gonna notice that on like all your songs now. I'm like, oh,
yeah, you are. You're gonna hear lots of hard consonants, and you're gonna hear lots of like really long words because the easiest way to fill up a bunch of notes like da 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 is just to pick like a 7-syllable word. Rather than writing more words, I just pick big words. I go dark synonyms, and I find the biggest one, and I boom, wedge that in there.
That's so cool. I actually never heard anyone do that before. Oh, at least like, but singing wise.
I will tell you all my cheat methods.
There you go. So, what kind of inspired your vocal delivery?
It's like the impossible goal of Tom Araya, because we cop the Slayer comparison all the time. And like, as far as I'm concerned, Slayer are the yardstick that all thrash should be measured against, because they are the definers of the genre. Like that, they may not have started thrash metal, but they kind of perfected it in like '86. So obviously, like the stuff that Tom Araya does, not only in the early days of his career, but like his later stuff, like the vocals he does on God Hates Us All. As much as I don't really like that album, his vocals are just nothing but pure savagery from start to finish. Like it's a note that you need to shout to make work, and he does it for the whole record. And there's tones that he does that I'm obsessed with. I love obviously Millet, Creator, a big influence of ours. And so I kind of, there's stuff that he does and there's stuff that Tom do that I kind of, I guess, borrow from to get my own kind of thing. I've also got a bit of I try and do quite like sing-songy stuff every now and then. I can carry a tune when I need to. So there are parts of the music that kind of lend themselves to like melodic passages or melodic choruses. So I do a bit of that, and I've just got a weird kind of gravel that I implement into that, so it's not too nice, because if it sounds too nice, people will again lambaste us for not being metal.
Clean singing.
No clean singing.
You can carry a note. So actually, my next question is, when is your Load and Reload album going to come out then?
Well, if we're following the timeline, I've got my Black album next, and by then I'll be a millionaire. Who gives a shit what I'm doing at that point?
just fuck it.
The next album's going to border on hard rock, and then all my country influences are going to come out.
Oh shit!
I'm going to start selling stadium tours worldwide.
And I think we got a covers album coming out in about a few years.
Oh yeah,
just got to work out.
Garage.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things I know is, especially as an outdoor, like outside of like the scope of like thrash metal, like if someone just listens in here and there and not really a part of the community, maybe like a part of like the talking on chat boards and whatnot, is like one of the things is like, well, it's true. It's like thrash metal, like as you kind of said, thrash metal fans are kind of really hard to like make happy. Like they're just like there's little things like not fast enough or like whatever, or maybe it's like like the Impress Me Bro. It's where the Impress Me Bros started.
It's these dudes in the crowd all the time.
Yeah, you get in one nod, you're like, we won him over. One.
They just stare at your hands to make sure you're doing the riffs note for note. And I'm a bullshit guitarist, so I have a bad time with those people.
Oh, dude.
Like Jasta talked about, he's like, sometimes I like them at the shows. It makes me play harder. So I'm like, I'm going to convince you to headbang.
It's like, let's get it.
Well, I don't give a shit. I'm like, look, if you're not here to have a good time, I don't know why the fuck you bought a ticket.
Does it make you happy that when you see those guys and they just go, it's just like,
yeah.
Dude, they just like look pissed all the time. The fuck is this guy's life? It's just like he's happy. That's happy.
There are some people that come up to you after the show and they go, that was pretty good. And you can tell that they hate the fact that they have to tell you. They really don't want to compliment you, but they go, no, better acknowledge that. And yeah, I love those ones. People that will begrudgingly give you kudos.
Like, fuck, I have to.
The best thing to get. That was okay, you bastard.
I wonder what the war of thoughts in that guy's head is like. This is gonna suck. All right, that was pretty good, if I'm being honest. Fuck, I gotta talk to this guy.
You know, they could be playing faster. Why did Daddy leave? Yada yada.
Fucking unreal. Yeah, it's like it's crazy because like from the outside, it's like I feel like, especially because I feel like thrash metal was the biggest type of metal. Like the big four, all four are thrash bands. Like like it's like, do you find it hard like? Because people try to compare maybe like you guys to, like you said, like all like any of the four bands or like any other thrash metal band. It's like kind of really hard because like all eyes were on that genre for like what, the entire like forever. Like that was like that was the big genre. Do you ever get do you get tired of that, or how do you deal with those comparisons all the time? Are you just like, no, it's, as a thrash metal fan, you know that's just kind of a part of the history of that genre. Like people are just gonna do that shit.
Yeah. It's totally just part and parcel with the gig. Like, you're always going to get compared to that old bands. And if nothing more, it holds us to a higher standard of accountability. Like, we need to make sure that, the advantage we have is that we have those incredible 80s bands that we can listen to and draw from. But we've also got, like, everything that metal's done after that point. Like, thrash was, like, the big one. Like, thrash was what made, other than the hair metal movement, around the same time, but thrash became enormous, and the biggest metal bands arguably of all time started in thrash metal. So it is an enormous genre, but from it spawned all these other movements, and like then there was there's the black metal, there's the death metal, there's all the things that have come since then. Where the advantage we have is that we can listen to all sorts of metal. Like we can listen to all the things that happened after thrash metal and all the things that are going to continuing to happen. And we can, there's so many more ways to approach metal now. So when it comes to writing thrash metal, we've got this vast pool to kind of to like draw inspiration from, and it means that we can do really creative things. And the double edge to that sword is if you get too creative, people will shit on you for not being through thrash metal, and if you do it through traditional, you're gonna get shit canned for being a rip-off band. So, like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. The best way to avoid that is just to make sure you're writing music that you enjoy and make sure that you're writing something that you want to do. Because, the easiest way to sound legitimate and genuine is if you're doing it genuinely and legitimately. And that's my only advice when it comes to songwriting. Is don't do things for the sake of making people happy, because they never fucking are.
Yeah, fucking, it's crazy. Like, I will say, like, as someone like, I never like really partake. Like I talk shit with my boy over here, but besides that, like I just kind of like, I'm like, yeah, man, they do what they do. I'm just not really into it. Like whatever. Yeah. I'm not like, but man, people make a living off of just sitting on like the kind of like, dude, the fuck was this Megadeth? Like, dude, kill yourself. It's just like, what? It's good. What's your problem? Like, Jesus Christ.
People will activate engage in our YouTube videos deliberately to fucking tear shreds off us. But they genuinely help the logarithms.
Yeah. So, like that's the one thing.
If they get involved in it, then more people are going to see the song. And for every comment that's like "fuck these guys, they sound like Slayer," there's 9 other comments that are like "fuck yeah, these guys sound like Slayer." Some people just enjoy it. Some people look past the comparison and just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, dude, it's not. Yeah, like I said, like. Listen to it. Like also I like that, like there's something I always miss, I guess. I just like that thrash metal breakdown. I guess I just don't have enough about it. Like it's just like really fast, like chugging. It's just like, yeah, like I'll just fuck everyone. Don't be near me when this part comes on. Like I think it was in Idle Minded. I was just like, let's go. Like I was just like, holy shit. I was like, let's go.
Just a bunch of little trills. It just goes
yeah. I was like, dude, I need this more in my life because, like, I listen to all types of metal. I got like the slam bands I like. I got like the really hard metal bands. But man, it's kind of funny how every genre has its take on a breakdown. Like some bands, it's literally just a chug and just kind of very rhythmic. And then thrash metal, it's like, yeah, we're gonna speed that up about 50 though. Like let's get it up. Let's get it up pretty fast. It's like
our breakdowns are like a mid-paced fucking rock beat.
Yeah,
it's like so slow.
Oh, dude.
It's barely moving.
Oh, dude, you got everything, man. You got the cardio in your songs. You got every
Cardio.
Just get my heart rate up.
The
get my
workout
Fitbit.
album.
It's just like, let's go.
Well, if you include the fact that I have to shout for like the entire fucking live set, by the end of it, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm
So
incredibly unfit as it is.
Is there like techniques you have to do to keep your voice up, or you just kind of swing it every day?
I just cinnamon whiskey mainly.
My
There you
man.
go.
My man.
I know a lot of people do honey and tea, but cinnamon whiskey, I guess, is just as good.
I don't know. Wait, what is it? Jack Fire? The red bottles of Jack Daniels?
Yeah, they were saying that was better than Fireball. My friend was just telling me that.
It's up there. As someone that
it's the same thing. However, it's not Fireball. No, it's less
a different
trendy.
logo.
It's in a square bottle.
Damn it, he fooled me.
People I know that like love whiskey, man, they hate like, oh, what whiskey you want? I'm like, yeah, man, I'll take a Jack Fireball. And they're like, what? It's like I have like 100-year-old like, nah, keep it. Give me the $20 bottle. I'm good. Like
$20.
Whatever the fuck it is. Like, well, the airplane bottle. Even if it's the airplane bottle, I get one hit. Just like, okay, that's enough.
Booze is expensive in Australia.
Yeah, I've heard that actually. Yeah.
Like you know, you go to a pub and you're like, I think you guys would say a pitcher of beer, what we would call a jug. So it's like, you know, 1.2 liters or 2 pints, and it's like $19 Australian.
Damn.
And you know, and then we go to Europe, and I'm like, how much for that can of 500 ml can of thing? And they're like €1. And I'm like, fucking shit.
Yeah, I heard about that with Europe. My friend went to Ireland. He said it was so much cheaper there. I mean, also the conversion rate, but
I don't know what cigarettes are like for you, but a pouch of tobacco is like $50.
What? Wow.
Like they're really trying to stop people smoking here. They're really trying.
Yeah, like
they're making it so expensive.
I don't know how much like tobacco.
Us?
Like it's $10 a pack of just cigarettes, not tobacco. But
was it like 25 cigarettes?
No, I don't think it's that much at all. No. It's like it might be like close to 20, maybe. I'm trying to think, like looking at the pack, but all the people I know that smoke, it's still not enough. They're like, 2 packs a day. It's like, holy shit, man.
So $10 Americans, like, you know, 13, 15 Australian. 20 cigarettes in Australia is going to cost you $35.
Wow, dude. That's is it like importing? What is that?
It's just excise taxes. It's they every couple of years they just jack up the tax by a little bit more to try and stop people doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, jeez.
For some reason, it's like they give a shit about our health or something.
It's like,
the only other thing I heard
a car or cigarettes. Make a choice. Make a choice.
I heard internet was expensive in Australia too. Is that true?
I've got no comparison to it, but monthly I spend $50 just to have an internet connection.
I think that's normal. I mean, I get the whole package.
Oh, hang on. No, it's not that it's expensive. It's that it's fucking garbage.
Oh. Well, there we go. We found out.
It's that we're paying a comparative price for a far inferior product.
Well, at least this is working.
And that's
all the way from Jersey.
Network. Yeah. It's all the way from New Jersey. We've talked about excise taxes, the weather.
Yeah.
You're
Impress me, bros. Insider. We got all the good topics. All right,
now
guys.
Think about the French Revolution.
Well, actually, here, let's break it. We have a segment on our show we like to call the 3 Random Silly Questions segment. And I guess we're really on the random topics already, but you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1. Would you want to come back after you die? Would you want to come back as a dog or another human?
A dog.
Okay, and why?
I don't have to do it for like 10 years.
When I get exhausted,
I'm 30 years old now, and I've had enough. Like,
do you see? It's the opposite. People are like, why would I want to come back as a dog? Like, I asked one guy this before. He's like, they only have like 10-year life expectancy, right? He's like, you could come back as a celebrity when you're a human. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, what are the chances in that? There's 7 billion people in the world. I know about 100 famous people that exist. I think you could come back as a celebrity, or you could come back as, you know, anyone in those impoverished nations and have the shittest time ever.
Yeah, right.
At least if you're a dog in an impoverished nation, you can just do what the fuck you want. You can run around giving kids rabies and shit. Doesn't matter.
Or you can come back as a celebrity's dog, like a dog of a celebrity.
You could come back as
That's the
Truth
best
the
life.
Wonder Dog. You can come back as Lassie.
Fucking Marley and Me's kid, bro. What the fuck?
You can come back as any of the dogs from A Dog's Purpose, and you could make audiences cry all around the world.
Oh man, it's just like how you make money.
100%, I'll just do a dog. I would do a dog. They don't know enough about what's going on to be unhappy. They've got really easy existences, and they only got to do it for a short amount of time. They got prime real estate on the existence stocks.
Yeah. I'm actually
I don't know why anyone would want to do life again as a person.
Let's say you had a dope ass life, but then you have the opposite run. Like maybe you have a dope ass life and you come back as a crazily worse version of yourself. Like, oh, I thought it was pretty good the first run, but this sucks.
I'm literally a white dude in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, Australia. I've got like a blessed existence. Everything is stacked towards me, and I'm still like, oh, fuck it. It's not, like,
I'm right with you there, bro. I'm like, it's pretty cool. Like, yeah, it could be a lot worse. Like, it could be way worse, but there's some shit.
It could literally only get worse. From where I am, it could literally only get worse. Like, the amount of people that are better off than me, you know, in the life stocks, are just, the chances are I'm going that way. There's a lot more options for things to get bad.
Yeah. But man, that like 0.00% chance, like 1% chance it'd be better. You're Kim Kardashian's kid. It'd be like, yeah, you know, maybe I don't like her, but this mansion, I'm gonna have money forever.
What's her name?
Enough money to do dumb shit. Enough money to like buy houses in affluent areas and turn them into like recovery centers for heroin addicts and stuff. Just fuck with shit a bit, you know.
Yeah, that could make it. That could be interesting.
Go to a Macca's and then offer everyone like $5,000 cash on the spot to walk out. Just quit right now.
Go.
Just to fuck industries and shit, you know.
What'd you want to do? I wanted to paint. Painting your ass off. Painting your ass off.
Yeah, here's the entire collection of Bob Ross's painting with colors. And a pack of watercolors. Go for life.
I wanted to paint. All I got is a 20-pack of Crayola crayons. Figure it out. You got it.
Eat half of them.
Yeah. I was really hungry. Draw.
Question number 2.
Yeah.
Would you want to say?
No, I'm just saying that's one. Answer 1, dog.
Question number 2. What's something you would like to take out of your daily routine?
Take out of my daily routine. Oh no.
Tough one for you?
Like I want to say eating, because if I didn't have to eat, I wouldn't have to constantly be like sorting it out. But food is like one of the few joys I have in life.
Yeah, right.
So like I'd miss out on heat. Same with sleeping. If I don't have to sleep, I could get so much done. But how fucking good is having a sleep?
Yeah. But imagine never being tired.
Oh, hang on, driving places. If I could just be where I needed to fucking be all the time, but like I have a car as a necessity. I hate driving.
Well, you guys also have long distances between cities, though.
Yeah. Australia, and because we've got so much room, everyone was like, just fucking spread out. Like, I'll go. I live in Melbourne. My mate will live in Melbourne. It's still an hour drive to go and see him, just because we live in different quadrants of Melbourne. Like,
I didn't know it's that big.
It's a stupidly large city. It just goes forever, because rather than being like, oh, we'll do another hub here, we've just got a city and then just suburbs forever.
Is it also because of traffic? Does traffic part take?
The traffic's garbage, because in the last 10 years, the population of Melbourne's gone from 3.5 million to 4.5 million.
Ugh.
Wow.
And the roads have not gotten 25% bigger. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm used to just like, because we live right next to New York, and it's just always been fucking a clusterfuck. So I'm just kind of like, I guess it's like when there are like a million more people, looks the same to me. Just a bunch of homeless people and a bunch of people just barely fitting on the sidewalk. It's
like even when you're at night going to the city, it's still kind of crammed. I mean, now with COVID and everyone being quarantined, it is easier to get in the city.
Yeah,
I've seen
for the birds. I don't care.
We had like really strict lockdowns in Melbourne for like a good 6 months of the year, and it meant that people weren't leaving their house to go to work. Like if you had an office job, you were doing it from home. My work requires me to drive around to like different locations, and it was a dream for me. Like the roads were dead. I was leaving my house and getting like, I was like driving 100 Ks in like less than an hour, just being like, this is magical. Everyone's gone back to work now, and I spent 4 hours yesterday in the car getting to a job and then back from a job.
Jeez.
At least you have all that time to vocal practice, right?
Yeah, it's fucking screaming at cunts. There it is. There's my stuff.
Yay! It's it over.
Fucking got him.
It's just like, what would be the skilled radio for like the segue would be like, well, you had 4 hours to listen to Detritus of the Final Age. Now we came out. It's just like, what the fuck? My own record for 8 hours? No, thank you. Sounds like hell. It's like,
4 hours to tear it to shreds. Yeah. To find every bung note, every awkward editing cut. Found it all.
Like,
I give it 4 out of 10.
I love the sound before I went on this ride. I kind of wish we could re-record it, man. It kind of sucks. This is like, dude, I had 8 hours to sit there. It's just like, my God.
Yeah. You end up with a whole album of stuff you don't ever want to do again.
All right, let's go into the third question. What was one of your first big purchases?
My first big purchases. When I was 15. When I was 15, I got my first ever job at a Pizza Hut. You might have seen the cat go past.
Yeah.
We're actually anti-cat on this, so can we like edit
really?
that out? No, I'm kidding.
No.
He karate chops his computer in half.
He punched a hole in the screen right there. When I was 15, I got a job at Pizza Hut, and it was paying $5.50 an hour. Was like slave wages. It was kind of okay back then. Just a coffee grinder, ignore it.
I thought it was a dog for a second. It was like you saw the cat.
It was a dog going, ah! But I saved up, so I was working 5 nights a week and every week only making like $125. And I saved up like every penny for a couple of months, and I bought a Jackson KE3 Kelly when I was about 15 years old because I just started playing guitar, and that was the first time I'd ever sunk a large amount of money on something. And since then, I have spent way too much money on gear. You get used to it. Unfortunately, I'm not still at Pizza Hut, so it's a lot easier to plug things down. But yeah, for a while it was that was it. That was my first big. I never got pocket money as a kid or anything. I never had an allowance. So this was the first time I ever actually had money. And it was great watching my really fiscally responsive parents, watching the look of disappointment when I spent every dollar I had on a guitar. Just look at,
what did they expect?
I don't know, long-term savings accounts, high interest. But
come on.
You ever see this guitar? I don't even play guitar. You know how many guitars I literally almost bought? Like, look how pretty it is.
Yep.
I would learn. I wouldn't learn, but I would have it. Look at this fucking thing.
Yeah, that's going to look great hanging on my wall.
That's probably why
Dude, that's what Edge does from the WWE. He just bought all these guitars. He's like, yeah, I could barely play. I think he learned now, but he had like a whole room dedicated to all these guitars. Like, I just like how they look.
Well, it's just like an art. Like to me, like maybe that's also why I never really learned, because my motivation has always been like, I want a reason to have that guitar. Like I'm just like, dude, look how pretty. It's like art to me. Like I love guitar playing, but there's also like just the art of guitar. Like I'll just go look at Aristides, I'll look at Jackson, I'll look at fucking ESP. I'll just go through all the guitar companies and be like, why are they all fucking so pretty? Like fuck. Like, it's like.
A good reason to pick up guitar is so that you can learn how to play it and then have grown men tell you that you suck for most of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
From the look at me now, you'd say my beard is red, correct? It's pretty red.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I say it's red because it is red.
Yeah, there we go. So it is red. Yeah. But look at this guy. That doesn't look red to me. That looks dirty blonde, right?
I'll pay the dirty part.
Thanks.
Oh no, Jesse moved.
He's back. I'm back again. Wait, what happened? Oh, I just switched spots.
Yeah, you're on the bottom now.
I know. I thought it was
continuity error. I'm wearing a watch now. Like,
is that a Dalmatian?
This is actually like very red as well. If you get it in sunlight, it's like a glowing orb. So I
That's
totally
goofy. I never understood it because my hair was always blonde, and then I grew a beard, and as it got longer, it's like red, 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 red. Like every time it gets long, I'm like, what the fuck? Is this like what happened?
It definitely makes me have questions about your pubes that I won't ask for the sake of the
None shaved. I just have a single freckle on my dick. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just one freckle.
the single
Wow.
freckle. It's called a beauty spot.
It's the one beauty spot on an ugly mess.
I feel like on every show, there's some point where we talk about either cock socks or cocks or like something like that, like all the time.
Freckle dicks.
Freckle Dick, dude, that shit.
There was something. We had cock pouches. We were talking about that one podcast.
To be fair, most of that comes from me though, because I don't have a good vocabulary, so I have to cover it up with dick talk most of the time. The time.
I mean, you don't have to.
Oh, well, I choose to, I guess. Maybe it's a passion. Maybe it's a passion.
I don't know what to say. Bring up dicks.
All right, 10 minutes of album talk. All right, so about dicks. Let's talk about it real quick.
All right, so we can go back into the album or dicks. What do you prefer?
Personally, what do I prefer?
On the side.
All right, so that was the random silly questions segment. So our question to you is, do you have any plans for like a live show, live stream, anything of that sort?
Well, so Melbourne's just opened back up. Like we've been in really hard lockdowns for a while, and gigs have just been off the table. Like we haven't played a show since February, but because of the aggressiveness of our lockdown, our active cases in Melbourne became 0 the other day. Like there is no cases of COVID in the state of Victoria or in the city of Melbourne. So we've actually got a gig coming up in a couple of weeks. We all of this got sprung on us because, you know, it was like you won't be playing shows this year, don't worry about it. And then there was an announcement. It was like, actually go for broke. And then it was like, fuck. So there's this mad rap to get the band rehearsed again for a show, and then for the venues to get like show ready because there's all these ridiculous restrictions. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, what's the protocol?
Events.
Yeah, what's
like you've got to sit. You can only have like, you know, same group of people on the tables. They need to be a certain distance from the stage. If you're not singing, you should be wearing a mask on stage, but that's not fucking happening. I'll just give everyone a microphone. They'll get away with it. It'll be fine.
The manager's like, when is that drummer gonna sing? He hasn't opened his mouth yet. Let's get a mask on.
He's just gonna shout "fuck" in between songs.
Yeah.
So we've got our first show back.
So no standing at all.
No standing at all. No standing. I'll stand.
Yeah.
But, yeah. The audience will be seated.
Do you think they're gonna follow that?
I hope so, because it's $100,000 fine if venue gets
for the band, or for them,
not for the band. Well, how the fuck are they going to get $100,000 out of a band?
I was about to say, I was like, man, they're really trying to. It's like, okay, we'll allow a few shows, but the plan is these metalheads are going to bankrupt the bands. Yeah, they're going to
have a payment plan for the next 1,000 years. Might get it. We've got our first show back on December 11th at the Bendigo Hotel, which is like.
Nice.
We've launched all our albums at this pub in Melbourne because it's like the home of heavy metal in Australia. It's like everyone's played there. It's where all the underground sick bands will.
Well, it's in the music video, right?
Yeah, it's in the music video. At the end of the music video, there's like our homage to the Bendigo Hotel because like I've spent the last 10 years playing there any chance I'd get. So
nice.
So obviously it was the only place we could play for our first show back. So we're doing like an intimate little seated fucking event. In December. We didn't think we were going to get to do that this year, so it's pretty cool. You know, we always got asked about the live stream shows, but for a really long time it was illegal for us as a band to even get together in the same room. So we were never going to be able to do that unless we all did it separately, and that was instinctively too much effort. So we just didn't bother. But now we can do shows again. So yeah, all our plans to go overseas were expanded this year, so obviously we shelved it all. It all got postponed till next year, but it's really unlikely we're going to get to do that either, just because I'm pretty sure Australian government saying that, you know, flying overseas in 2021 is aggressively unlikely. So it's probably a good chance for us to do some national tours again, which, you know, I love driving 10 hours to fucking Sydney. Hold me back.
Well, like I think the only frame of reference I have for that is like I think years ago I watched the Parkway Drive like documentary, and they talked about how they literally toured like all, and it sounds like a fucking grind, bud. Let me tell you.
It is an absolute grind.
Wow. Like,
when we go to like, you know, we do these the European runs that we've done, and the bus driver will be like, all right guys, we got to get going, it's a long drive to the next city, it's like 6 hours to Spain. And I'm like, oh. 6 hours. All right, don't worry. We'll map that off, don't worry about it.
Like to me, 6 hours, I'm like, oh my god, 6 hours in this car.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, the only time you go.
In England, you can drive from like London to the other side of the country in 6 hours. You know, a 6 hour drive will get you most of the way to the next major city.
Damn.
It's fucked, man. It's rough. You just get used to it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you enjoy it, but you get used to it.
the only time I get to flex on people like that is literally if someone doesn't drive, like people in the city, like my friends, like, you got to drive 30 minutes to go to like the store. And I'm like, yeah, it's 30 minutes. I don't know. It's just like, it's nothing, literally. It's like, and then 3 hours, that's my limit. When it hits 3 hours, that's when I'm like, it might be life or death. I might have to call people. Might have to, because like I get so tired and bored when driving. It's like,
there better be like 12 Starbucks on the way.
Yeah, no. Dude, I just need to look at something familiar. Just
I don't know what like domestic flights are like in America, but pricing wise, like we can fly to those other cities, but to get 4 dudes like from Melbourne to Sydney and back is going to cost you it's going to cost your band up to $1,500.
yeah.
So a lot of the time we just go, oh, we'll just fucking drive. We'll just
and equipment too, probably, right? Or do you just rent it from? Or you just use like the club's equipment, probably?
It's clubs don't really have equipment.
Oh no! Oh wow, that's
no. So what you do is you book a show and then you find a Sydney band that you're like, we got to Sydney. We'll find a band in Sydney that we're going to play with, and then we go, hey, we're using all your shit.
Jeez.
We'll bring guitars, but we're gonna beat the fucking living death out of your drum kit. And
yeah, I was gonna say drum kits are
crap tones into your amps and fucking pull the knobs off.
Literally the only. It's kind of funny you say it. Literally the only. I've only played one live show, and we did that, and I fucked that guy's bass drum up because I'm a drummer. I literally because his drum set kept moving, and literally the one double bass part in our song, my fucking beaters were stabbing it because it moved so much, and literally there was just like 2 holes in it. I was like, hey man, thanks for letting me use your kit. And I just packed up and ran out the back door. I was like, fuck that. I was like, I'm out. And so it's like, wow, dude, that sucks for you, bud. It's like, geez. Yeah, dude, that sounds brutal as hell. But I'm happy you're getting to play a show again. That's awesome.
Thank God. I feel like a lot of people aren't able to play shows. Like most bands aren't. The live stream are the things, and glad Australia you guys are able to do it.
I feel like Ginger went and played a show in Australia, right? They had a live video of them. I was like, in
they
November?
toured very recently.
Damn.
About a year ago.
Yeah, that wasn't from now though.
Had some footage from
a year ago. That was it. I thought it was 2020 November. No,
that's
I was
now.
just like,
they couldn't possibly have got here.
That's why I was like thinking. I was like, were they just stuck there? Because I keep feeling like I saw a bunch of bullshit. Like I was just like, what the fuck are they doing? How do they get that to work?
We're like, I think I know the footage you're talking about. I'm pretty sure it was at like Max Watts in Melbourne, and
look it up real quick.
If there was anyone in the venue at all, then it definitely wasn't happening here.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you guys couldn't even get together. You said so you couldn't even.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we had a 5-kilometer radius around our house that we went to live. Have you found some information about the Ginger Show?
March 5th. It's live. I was about to say because I was like, dude, what? I thought they had the secret sauce. I was like, who are they fucking paying off?
4 days before we went into a hard lockdown, so they got in just in the nick of time.
Yeah, I was like, wow, all right.
Damn.
So them to have done that now, they would have had to fly into the country, spend 2 weeks in a hotel quarantined, and then played the show to, I think, Max Watts is a 700 cap room, but it's currently running at 125 person seated capacity.
Yeah. Geez.
So it would have looked shit.
Yeah. There would be no audience camera. There would be 0 audience camera.
Yeah, so they would have spent 3 weeks in the country for 125 ticket sales.
That sounds pretty terrible.
We were talking to
It sounds like us going overseas,
Well, Veil Maya talked about it too. They just got their tour. They went all the way out. I think they were in New York City or whatever. And then they got to the venue, unpacking, and then they're like, "Oh, sorry, you can't play the show tonight. Everything's getting canceled." And they were just like, "What?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah, now the tour's canceled too." They're like, "Yeah." They were just like, didn't know what to do.
Yeah, honestly, doing an interview show like during COVID, it was pretty great to hear every story. Like we interviewed a few bands who were literally like like Vale of Maya, or like the day of. They're like, we're going to start this great tour. We bought all this merch, and it's like the country is shut down, and good luck to you. It was just like, what? It was like, oh, no.
All these T-shirts with like really specific dates printed on the back. And you're like,
you want to buy them?
Like tour shirts are a commodity when you tour. Like people snap those things up. Like it's the easiest way to generate money on top of the ticket sales is just to have a shirt with a date on it, because people love that shit, because they love that memento from the show. And if you're not selling them at the gigs, you're in trouble.
Oh yeah,
it was funny. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need it. I go to so many shows. But then it was really cool. Right now, I found a Fear Factory shirt I had from 2010. I was like, holy shit, I forgot about this show. And then I remember like looking on the back. I was like, oh my god, look at that. So they are kind of.
And
cool.
that's what you're buying when you buy a tour shirt.
Yeah.
Whereas if it doesn't have the dates on it, you're just like, oh yeah, I like that band.
So when did I get that? I don't know. It's timeless. It could have been 20 years ago, or it could have been
this
yesterday.
tells me no story.
I think
reminisce this garment.
I think the funniest was I was in line going to a concert, and some guy had a tour shirt of a tour I went to, and I just was like, and I just poked him in the back on the date. I just like some kind of like, there's the date. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, sorry, man, just living out my past, man. So I was just like, my bad. He's like, all right, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I just got lost.
And then Jesse made his best friend.
Yeah, that got kicked out of the concert because he said, this guy poked me weirdly. Can you keep him away from me? I'm like, oh, okay. Just go home.
But before we let you go, man, is there anything else that you want to mention, upcoming, anything for the fans? Anything you want to say?
I literally can't think of a single thing that we haven't covered.
Yeah, we like,
that's good.
Like band, regardless of music, I can't think of a thing that we haven't touched on at one point.
We're thorough here on the Metal Teddy Bear Experience.
Leaving no stone unturned. No matter how much we should have left those stones unturned, we turned them anyway.
That sounds like the Metal Teddy Bear Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like a fourth grade. It's like, yeah, we went over everything. You have a base level knowledge of everything. We got some geography, some math, some cock socks, maybe some guitar.
Yeah. One thing. This Freckle.
Yeah, this one Freckle. Yeah, I was going to say. Which one? I got. Oh, that one. The Freckle.
The Freckle. Not. You know exactly what I mean when I say the Freckle.
Oh shit! All right, man.
Guys, really appreciate it.
Oh, dude,
yeah, dude, this is great. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on board.
Hey, brother, we'll definitely talk again, man. Enjoy that show. Good luck.
Yeah, we'll do, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, dude. Have a good one.
See you
later.
And welcome back to the Metal Teddy Bear Experience podcast right now. This is your host, Chris. With me, I got my boy, Jesse. What's up, Jesse?
I got no muscles. I just do the fucking traps.
Dancing here on the
got
podcast.
Nothing.
All right, so you guys had an awesome guest in your ears for like a good hour almost, right? Andrew Hudson of Harlott. You like how I went like Jose Mangan on that?
Harlott.
Or it could be like hard, like Josta. That was a horrible Josta impression right there. I'm sorry. But anyway,
bro, man, I love Harlott, man. They're just so hard.
Actually, so I was talking to someone and he made that hard reference, and I was like, yeah, I got that. He's like, I'm so glad you got that. There's people I've talked to who know metal and don't know that. I was like, really? But anyway, Detritus, so the Final Age, that was Harlott's brand new record from Metal Blade Records. Check it out. It's really awesome.
Check it
Came out
bud.
last week, and it's super awesome. They have an awesome video for Idle Minded. So do it. Check it out. Like it.
Yeah. It was pretty great. I really enjoyed like the record. It was really fun listening to it. Again, like I said on the podcast, like I'm not one to seek out thrash metal. When it's put on and around me, I usually enjoy it because I'm just like an all-around metal fan.
Jesse's lying right now. What he does is he just completely shits on it relentlessly.
Not true.
I put it on. I'm like, hey man, here's this awesome Harlott record. And he's like,
no, that's not true.
Shit. Sounds like Slayer ripoff. And I'm like, what are you saying, man?
What? No.
That's throwing Jesse under the bus right there.
It's just not true.
When the camera's off, Jesse makes fun of my musical taste.
Yeah,
so.
I make fun of yours. And then I'll go listen to him and be like, yo, you should listen
Shout
to this
out
band.
to DP.
Yeah. But yeah, like when it's around me, you know, I'll listen to it and it's fun. And when I see it live, it's really fun. But like I don't seek it out. And it was super exciting to listen to this. It was really fun. And also he was a super cool dude.
He was super cool. Really awesome to talk to.
It's just all what you want as like, you know, so yeah, you've been doing this for a long time as someone that's new to it, just kind of like basically the person to talk shit to your professionalism, basically. It's super fun to listen to. It's what I want out of an interview. I want to listen to like someone's tunes that are really good, on fire,
Hot
and then
fire.
the person's really cool, and it's cool to listen to. And also good for them. You know, Australia seems to be crushing the COVID stuff. So he
Dude,
gets to
how
play a live show in December.
how
so that's
awesome is
pretty
that?
cool. It made me go, you know, I feel like my life, like, okay, I know at the beginning of this podcast, I said my life was all right. You know, I was making a lot of money because I wasn't spending like I usually spend because I was stuck at home. And, you know, loss of a girlfriend, loss of a job later, you know, 6 months kind of blew. Honestly, we should have just did a hard ass lockdown like they did. If we get to play a December 11th show in New Jersey, I'd be
6 months hard lockdown for them, and you got a, what do you say, $100,000 fine or something if you
fuck around, if you like stand up
Yeah.
and like run around and try to start a mosh pit at the,
and
the
you
concert.
couldn't even get together to jam with your friends. You know, that's how much of a lockdown it was.
Honestly,
Woo!
for what I've done in this past, I can't even, like, 6 months. So that's May. So yeah, like we started lockdown around the end of March. Come on, bro. By fucking November, this shit would have been, I'm sorry, like I didn't know to make it about COVID, but like it was kind of something like, dude, as a musical fan, I love my bands. I even bands I don't really like, I love, because guess what? They're fucking passing music around, and all music helps music. I don't care what anyone says. It's true. The bigger all music gets, unless like they're like purposely stealing tunes away, like Carlos Mencia, they're like just like taking someone's whole discography and like fucking like making it theirs. I haven't seen that happen. But like all tunes, I love it, dude. I love people doing well. I always want all music to do well, unless like, you know, some crazy, but yeah, all music to do well. And it makes me happy that some of these Australian bands are getting to do some shit because they're crushing it. And, you know, and just what I hope for. All the people we've interviewed, man.
As
Like
Paradise Falls was posting on their account too about I think jamming together and writing stuff.
That's awesome. And, you know, whether it be live shows or live streams, all of it. Because, you know, we've interviewed Veil and Maya, who, like, you know, Mark, who said, yeah, we got to the venue, which was in LA. It wasn't in New York, by the way. Dick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was in California, the first show.
Damn it.
Idiot, completely opposite side of the country. Failed geography.
Well, guess what's getting edited out now? So now, actually, they have no idea what you're talking about because this is at the end of the interview. And
How
I
funny
took
would that
part
be?
out.
It'd be like, yeah, so like Veil and Maya went to Los Angeles, California. To just like,
Dude, I actually had to do that once. This is a nice little behind the scenes info for one of my radio show interviews. I totally butchered the fucking album title for this. I can't even remember who it was, but the album I think I got it completely wrong. I said it like an asshole, and I got the date wrong when it released. Luckily, the guy never corrected me. But when I went and edited the interview, I was like, I'm gonna fix this right now.
So how'd you feel writing the album Ashes of the Wake, or as I call it, Graham Crackers and Apple Juice? That's not what it's called. Why'd you fuck that up so bad? What the fuck? It's like, yeah, it's so fun. But yeah, like you know, like I said, not to go long-winded, but you know, it's what I hope for a lot of these American bands and European around the whole world. But like obviously, we interviewed a lot more. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think we only interviewed a few people out of the country, and fuck, Loathe, perfect example. Like, dude. Honestly, we almost probably wouldn't have gotten that interview if COVID didn't happen. Because you want to know why? Because of that album and how much they were probably going to tour, they probably would have been way out of our fucking league. They would have been stuck to a rocket going straight into the fucking space. No fucking diet, no angles. That thing was going straight from fastest point to space to stardom. And you know what?
I think I'm going to see that album in the top 3 of like this year, albums of the year, like all the time.
Yeah, when I don't see people put it in there, it's like it better be because like they haven't listened to it.
Yeah,
I'll be even nicer because people are also into a lot of genres, like people's genre differences. Fair enough. It better be in your top 5. I will not accept anything lower than 5 because maybe people aren't into that metalcore-ish, progressive, like whatever the fuck you're gonna call it, whatever.
Deftones. A lot of people have been calling it.
Well, you know, whatever.
Oh, stumped.
Metalcore. No, because I wasn't one to. Shut up. I have
anyway.
Pussy, but.
All right, guys. Well, remember always to like, subscribe, smash like buttons because that's what we like when you smash it. And comment in the section below and do all that fun stuff.
Or
and
above, in case you're like minimized and you're like in a different comment section.
Sure. And Jesse, you want to talk about Spotify and how you can follow stuff?
Yeah, go to Spotify, follow the page, go to Google Podcasts, do whatever that is. Leave reviews on Apple Podcasts. I know that's big in Apple Podcasts. Just basically anywhere you can be positive. And if you hate it, be positive either. You know, we just need you, bro. We don't need you on the next episode because you hate us. Just be positive. This one episode you checked it out, then bye-bye. I get it. No, I'm kidding. But just if you like us, let us know. If you like any of the things that we're doing, let us know. If you hate it, be a little nice, but hell, you can tell us that too, because for YouTube, for the algorithm, comments,
Yeah, right.
likes, like all that stuff. Like literally, even if it's just to say hi, just let us know what's up. You know, we like to know, man. We like to talk to people. Because we're benefiting from talking to people that we enjoy, new people. We're finding people that we admire. We're interviewing people that we admire from before in our past. It's a fucking dream, dude. Honestly, like. It is. Like, I'm getting to talk to people I never get to talk to. I know you've been doing this for a while, but, like, personally for me, why the fuck would I talk to some dude in Australia that drives around all day? It's never going to fucking happen. But guess what? That dude in Australia crushes on guitar and vocals and with a very good fucking modern thrash band. Loathe. When the fuck would I ever talk to that guy? Who the fuck ends up being one of the fucking best albums of the year, or fucking anybody. I can go on to every single one of our interviews, you know, whether they have done well or not. But by viewer standpoint, I've enjoyed them all because I've gotten to talk to people I never know. So if you think the same about our interviews, comment below. Let us know. Even if it's just to say hi or, hey, bro, maybe don't talk so fucking much, Red Chin. Be like, all right, I appreciate Freckle Dick. You know, it's cool, man. Stop talking about your freckle on your dick. You know?
Well, if you guys want, we have all of them up on Spotify and what do you call that? iHeartRadio, which is apparently the #1 podcasting platform.
Yeah. It's yeah, I didn't know that either. So, and Stitcher. So all of them, you know, go do your thing. And
all
also,
there, guys.
And we also understand too, for these things are mostly an hour majority of the time. So we understand that you can't watch it on YouTube all the fucking time. So, you know, do whatever you want. And if you're just going to stop by anyways, even if you just checked us out, I appreciate that too. So, you know, do your thing.
Thank you, sir.
And also check out my boys' radio show. Hit it, Chris.
Yup. On Tuesday nights, 7 to 10 p.m. You can hear some interviews. I just talked to Jeff Rhodes of Them Damn Kings. I also talked to Diesel Machine. That was pretty cool. Pat Lockman. A lot of bands on there. Doro Pesh. You might know her as the Queen of Heavy Metal. A bunch of stuff on there as well. So extra content. And it features my boy Rom every Tuesday night, 7 to 10, WMSC. And you can find that on Mixcloud as well. Mixcloud.com/MTB Experience.
Yeah, dude. It's an awesome show as someone that's been, dude, this guy's been doing it for a long time, so go check it out. It's awesome.
So many years in this game. But, guys, thank you for listening to this. I really appreciate it, and keep it real.
Well, also, if you hate it, Aram's voice is butter, so you can just go enjoy it for that.
Yes, he has the radio voice.
He might not have many interesting things to say, but fuck, like his voice.
I make him say interesting things.
Literally 90% of the time, like, dude, this guy does not know what he's talking about. But 99% of the time, like, fuck. Put it on my toast. Put it in my coffee. It's butter, girl. Cream.
Ah, shit. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.